Brothers and sisters, warriors of faith, seekers of destiny, hear my words. Across the sands of time, beneath the banners of our sacred cause, through fire and steel, I have learned a truth greater than any treasure, more powerful than any sword. It is not the armor we wear, nor the blade we wield, nor even the battles we fight that determine our fate. No, it is the belief within our own souls that shapes the path before us. You have been gifted with time upon this earth, a fleeting moment in the grand tapestry of eternity. And yet, many falter, not because they lack strength or wisdom, but because they fail to believe in themselves. Doubt's a poison, a creeping darkness that seeps into the mind and shackles the heart. It whispers of failure before the fight has even begun. It chains men and women alike to fear, to hesitation, to the falsehood that they are unworthy. But I stand before you now, not as one who has never known fear, nor as one who has never stumbled, but as one who has conquered these things. And I tell you this, the greatest secret, the only true key to victory in all things, is belief in oneself. The trials of a warrior. A knight may be trained in the art of war, clad in the finest steel, and yet, without belief, he is already defeated before his sword leaves its scabbard. A queen may hold dominion over many, yet without belief, she is but a prisoner of her own doubts. A scholar may study the wisdom of ages, but without belief, his words are dust, carried away upon the wind. I have seen warriors mightier than mountains crumble beneath the weight of their own fears. I have seen kings fall not by the hands of their enemies, but by the weight of self-doubt. But I have also seen the meek rise, the broken mend, and the hopeless reignite their own fires, all because they chose to believe in themselves. Do you not see? The true battle is not against the enemy before you, but against the enemy within you. Rise beyond doubt. If you seek greatness, if you long to carve your name into the annals of history, then know this. It begins with belief. Believe that you are strong, and strength will fill your bones. Believe that you are worthy, and no force in this world will shake you. Believe that you are destined for greatness, and the path shall be revealed before your very feet. To those who stand at the crossroads of doubt and certainty, I say this: choose faith in yourself. It is the foundation of all things, the unbreakable fortress that no enemy can breach. It is the fire that turns iron into steel, the spark that ignites the souls of heroes, the legacy you leave behind. When the sands of time have swallowed our names, when our bones have returned to the earth, what shall remain? Not wealth, not titles, not kingdoms. What remains is legacy, and legacy is not forged through hesitation, nor carved from fear. It is built by those who believe in themselves, who stand against all odds, and declare, I am worthy. So I ask you now, with all the power in my soul, do you believe? If you falter, if you waver, if even a sliver of doubt remains in your heart, then hear me well. You are not alone. Look to those beside you, to those who fight, who struggle, who rise again and again, despite every wound, every hardship. They are proof that belief can conquer even the darkest nights. Believe in yourself, and you will be unstoppable. For honor, for faith, for the strength within, on fire. Brothers and sisters of the sword and spirit, hear my words. There are those who seek the light, but grow weary when the dawn does not come swiftly. There are those who call for strength, yet falter when it does not rise within them at once. There are those who whisper prayers for miracles, yet despair when their prayers are not answered in an instant. But I tell you this truth, even miracles take a little time. We stand as warriors upon the battlefield of life, where every step is fought for, every victory hard won, and every dream forged in the fires of persistence. If the heavens themselves took time to shape the world, if the mightiest rivers carve the mountains only through patience and force, why should we expect our own miracles to come without trial? You who seek strength, do not waver. You who seek victory, do not doubt. You who seek to change your fate, do not falter. For it is written upon the hearts of the bold that glory is not gifted, but earned. And though your path may be long, though your trials may be many, your miracle is coming. But you must be ready to fight for it. The test of time, the road to triumph is long. And in the darkness of uncertainty, many have turned away. They have cried out, "Why does the Lord not grant my wishes? Why does fate not grant me ease?" But a true warrior does not cry for ease. A warrior sharpens her blade in hardship. A warrior strengthens her shield in the storm. A warrior learns patience, for she knows that what is gained too quickly is also lost too easily. You must learn this truth. Your struggle is not in vain. Every battle you fight, every hardship you endure, every moment you stand firm when others would fall, these are the hands that shape your miracle. A castle is not built in a day. A legend is not written in a single battle. A warrior is not forged in comfort, but in the crucible of time. If you desire victory, you must walk through the fire. If you seek greatness, you must be willing to wait for it. For even miracles take time. Faith and steel, the Templar's way. There will be moments when your spirit wavers, when the enemy seems too strong, when the battle seems never-ending, when doubt whispers in your ear that you will never succeed. But hear me now, this is when you must hold firm. Do not surrender your dreams, because the path is difficult. Do not turn away from the fight, because victory has not yet come. For every battle, every struggle, every moment of perseverance is a seed planted in the soil of time, and in time it will grow. There are no wasted efforts. There are no worthless struggles. There is no challenge that does not serve a purpose. Your strength is being built. Your mind is being honed. Your soul is being tempered. Trust in the process. Trust in the time. Trust in yourself. For the warrior who endures shall be the warrior who rises victorious. Your miracle is coming. Claim it. If you stand on the battlefield of life today, wondering when your miracle will come, stand tall, for it is coming. It may not come today, it may not come tomorrow, but with every effort you make, with every challenge you overcome, it is drawing closer. Your miracle is not a gift, it is a reward for the warrior who does not surrender, a reward for the soul who does not waver, a reward for the heart that beats with unwavering faith. So stand, warrior, hold fast to your sword. Raise your shield, and when the world tells you to surrender, whisper back. Even miracles take a little time, for the day will come when you stand atop the mountain, look back upon the path you have walked, and know with certainty, every step was worth it. Now go forth and claim your miracle on fire.
Brothers and sisters of the battlefield, hear my words. To hope is to dream, to believe in the light that beckons us forward. But to plan is to ensure that when the storm comes, we do not fall. The weak pray only for fortune's favor, but the wise sharpen their swords even in times of peace. Hope alone is but an empty wish. Planning alone is but an existence without faith. But together, they forge the unbreakable steel of destiny. So listen, warriors of the cross, knights of the cause, defenders of all that is righteous, this is the law of survival. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Faith in hope, the light in the darkness. Hope is the fire that keeps a warrior's heart alive in the coldest night. It is the star above the desert that guides us when all else is lost. It is the whisper of the Almighty that tells us, even in the shadow of death, you are not alone. Hope gives strength to the weary. It tells the fallen knight, rise, for the battle is not yet over. Hope is the dawn on the battlefield, golden light piercing through the wreckage of war. Hope is the banner still standing when all else has fallen. But hope alone is not enough. Hope is the dream of victory, but without preparation, that dream will die before it ever sees the light. For what is a sword if it is not sharpened? What is armor if it is not worn? What is faith if it is not tested? We do not wait for miracles to save us. We march forward and forge our own fate. Prepare for the storm, the code of a warrior. A warrior does not march blindly into battle. The foolish rush in, their hearts full of hope, yet their hands empty of preparation. They dream of victory, but hold no strategy. They believe in their strength, but lack the discipline to endure. They expect triumph, but have never tasted hardship. And when the enemy comes, when the swords clash and the arrows darken the sky, these dreamers will be the first to fall. But we are not dreamers, we are warriors. We pray for peace, yet we train for war. We hope for victory, yet we prepare for hardship. We trust in the Lord, yet we wield our swords with unshaken hands. For God helps those who prepare. Do not fear the struggle. Do not flinch at the weight of your burdens. Every hardship you endure, every wound you suffer, every night spent in training, they are the foundation of your triumph. For the strongest shield is forged in the hottest fire. The greatest knight is not the one who has never fallen, but the one who has stood up more times than he has been struck down. Hope for the best, plan for the worst, and you shall never be unprepared. The battle of life, warriors never yield. Brothers and sisters, life itself is a battlefield. Not all wars are fought with swords. Some wars are waged within the soul. Some battles are fought in silence, against the shadows of doubt and fear. But no matter the enemy, whether steel or sorrow, blade or burden, fear or fate, our strategy does not change. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. For in battle, the one who hopes but does not prepare is a fool. But the one who prepares yet holds no hope is already lost. The true warrior balances both. They pray, but they fight. They trust, but they train. They dream, but they act. And so when the enemy arrives, when the storm breaks, when the world seeks to crush them beneath its weight, they are ready. For their heart is strong, their faith is unshaken, their steel is sharpened, and they stand unbroken. A call to arms, the Templar's oath. Warriors, hear me now. Do not wait for fate to decide your path. Take the reins and forge your own future. Pray for guidance, but do not stand idle. Hope for a brighter dawn, but do not let the night find you unprepared. Believe in the light, but never fear the darkness. For in the end, the Lord walks with those who dare to walk forward. Hope for the best, plan for the worst, and you shall never fall. Now rise, and let the world hear your battle cry. Warriors, knights, crusaders of the past, present, and future, hear my voice. You will not die today. You will not surrender today. You will not let fate decide your path today. Because this is not the end. This is your moment to fight. The weak call it destiny. The cowards call it fate. But we, the warriors, the ones forged in battle, know the truth. Fate is an illusion, and destiny is a lie told to those too afraid to rise. You stand here today, bloodied, bruised, and exhausted, looking at the battlefield ahead, wondering if you have anything left to give. I tell you this now, you do, because your power is not in your body but in your will. Because your strength is not in your past but in your fire to fight. Because your destiny is not written in the stars, it is forged in battle. The warrior's law, you fall. The universe does not grant mercy. The enemy does not hesitate. The battlefield does not care if you are tired, but hear me now. You are not weak, you are not broken, and you are certainly not done. The only ones who lose are the ones who stop fighting. The only ones who fall are the ones who stay on their knees. The only ones who die before their time are the ones who let fear rule them. But you? You are not like them. You are more. You are greater. You are a warrior of unshakable will, a force beyond time, a crusader whose spirit burns brighter than the sun itself. When the darkness comes, you become the light. You will face nights darker than the void itself. You will face enemies stronger than any force you have ever known. You will feel pain that makes you question if you can continue. And in that moment, when the world tries to break you, you must remember this. You are the light. You are the fire. You are the storm that no force in this world or the next can extinguish. Do you feel it? That pulse of power deep within your soul? That unstoppable force that refuses to break? That is your will. That is your essence. That is the energy of a true warrior. No chains can hold you. No wall can stop you. No enemy can break you. Unless you allow it. The final stand, it is not over until you win. There will come a moment when you stand on the edge of defeat, when your enemies surround you, when your strength feels like it has abandoned you, when your mind whispers, maybe I should give up. And in that moment, you have a choice: surrender or fight. And if you fight, if you rise, if you dare to challenge fate itself, then you have already won. Because the warrior who refuses to fall is unstoppable. Because the warrior who stands when all others kneel is invincible. Because the warrior who fights with everything they have is already victorious. Your time is now. Unleash your power. Today is the day you awaken. Today is the day you reclaim your strength. Today is the day you fight for your life. No more doubts, no more fear, no more waiting. The battle is here. The moment is now. The choice is yours. Fight like the warrior you were born to be. Fight like the legend you are destined to become. Fight because your story is not over yet. A final message to all true warriors. If these words have ignited something in you, then listen carefully. This is just the beginning. Subscribe to this channel and become part of a brotherhood of warriors who refuse to surrender. Activate notifications so you never miss another call to battle. Like this video if you vow to stand and fight. Comment below. What battle are you facing? How will you rise? Share this message with another warrior, because no soldier fights alone. You are not gonna die. You just need to fight, and you will win. Brothers and sisters, gather close, for these words are not mere utterances, but a shield against despair and a sword against doubt. For in this world of trial and toil where shadows threaten to consume even the brightest of hearts, let this truth pierce through the darkness like the morning sun over Jerusalem. Just because someone stumbles and loses their path doesn't mean they're lost forever. It is a truth as ancient as the stones of the holy city and as unyielding as the faith that binds us. It is a truth that calls to the weary, the fallen, and the forsaken, bidding them rise anew. Hear me now, warriors of the Spirit and keepers of the light, for I speak to you not only of redemption, but of the strength to reclaim one's purpose and the courage to fight once more. The nature of the journey. Life is no straight road, no clear and easy path from birth to glory. It is a winding trail, full of treacherous climbs and shadowed valleys. Even the most righteous among us will stumble, even the most vigilant will falter. The path to greatness is not smooth but forged through struggle, and the missteps we take are not marks of our ruin but tests of our resolve. Look to the saints and the heroes of our faith. Did they not stumble? Did Peter not deny our Lord 3 times before the cock crowed? Did David not falter when faced with temptation? Did Moses not doubt his ability to lead? Yet their stumbles did not define them, for they rose again called by a higher purpose and found their way back to the light. So too, are you called to rise when you fall, to reclaim the path when it seems lost. This not the end. To stumble is to be human, for no man or woman walks without faltering. Yet take heart, for stumbling is not the end of the road. It is but a moment, a breath in the great expanse of your journey. The enemy, both within and without, would have you believe that a single fall is final, that to stumble is to be cast into the abyss. But I tell you this, the stumble is not your undoing. It is your chance to learn, to grow, and to rise stronger. Consider the sword of a knight. It is not forged in ease but in fire. It is beaten and folded, tested again and again until it becomes unbreakable. So it is with the soul. The stumbles you endure, the times you lose your footing, are the very fires that strengthen you. Each fall is a lesson, each misstep an opportunity to grow more steadfast, more resolute. The hand that lifts. In your moments of doubt, when you have lost sight of the path and the weight of the world presses upon your shoulders, remember this: you are not alone. The Almighty watches over you, and His hand is always there to lift you from the dust. But so too are the hands of your brothers and sisters, for no crusader fights alone. Just as we stand shield to shield on the battlefield, so must we stand together in the trials of life. When you see a fellow soul stumble, do not scorn them or turn away. Extend your hand as our Lord extends His to you. Offer them strength, guidance, and compassion, for in lifting others, you yourself are lifted. In guiding the lost, you reaffirm your own purpose, and in showing mercy, you embody the very essence of the faith we hold dear. The strength to rise, to stumble is human, but to rise again is the mark of the faithful and the courageous. It takes strength to admit you have fallen, and greater strength still to stand once more. Do not let shame or despair chain you to the ground. The past is but a shadow, and it holds no power over the light of today. Each dawn is a new beginning, each breath a gift from the Creator, a chance to start anew. Take up your sword, both the steel in your hand and the faith in your heart. Take up your shield, the discipline that guards you from despair. Look to the horizon and march forward, for the road it is yours to claim. Remember that the measure of a man is not in how he avoids the fall, but in how he rises after he has fallen. The eternal path. You may feel at times that the path is lost, that the way forward is shrouded in doubt and fear, but the path is never truly lost, for it lies within you. The light of the Almighty, the spark of purpose, and the fire of determination are always there, waiting to guide you. You need only look within and listen to the call of your soul. And if the path you once walked is no longer visible, forge a new one. The great journeys of our time were not undertaken on well-trodden roads, but carved through wilderness and uncertainty. Do not fear the unknown, for it is in the untraveled paths that greatness is found. A call to arms. So hear me now, children of the light, warriors of the soul. When you stumble, do not despair. When you lose your way, do not surrender to the darkness. Rise, for you are not lost forever. The Almighty does not abandon His own, and neither should you abandon yourself. The road to redemption is not barred. The gates of purpose are not locked. They await your courage, your resolve, and your faith. Take heart, for the journey is not over. The stumble is not the end. It is merely a chapter in the story of your triumph. Now go forth with the strength of lions and the faith of martyrs. Go forth and reclaim your path. And when the final reckoning comes, let it be said of you that though you stumbled, you rose again. Though you faltered, you found your way. And though you were tested, you emerged victorious. Deus Vult. The time is now, a Templar's call to action. Brothers, warriors, men of honor, hear me. The winds of destiny do not wait. The sun rises and falls, and with each passing moment, the chance to forge our names in the annals of history slips through our fingers. The past is written, the future is unknown, but it is what we do right now that makes a difference. We are not born into greatness. We do not inherit it through blood or title. No, it is by our deeds, by our steel, by the fire of our souls that we carve our place in this world. A man who hesitates is a man who has already surrendered. A man who waits for a sign is a man who will perish before the battle even begins. The strong do not wait, they act. The faithful do not falter, they rise. The weight of this moment. Do you hear it? The whispers of doubt, the voices of fear, the endless chorus of those who would tell you that you are too weak, too small, too insignificant to matter? Silence them. Strike them down with the sword of your will. For it is not the doubters who write history, it is the bold, the fearless, the ones who dare to take action when others hesitate. What use is a sharpened blade if it never leaves its sheath? What use is a warrior who refuses to fight? The greatest battles are not won by those who wait for certainty. They are won by those who charge forward into the unknown, unshaken in their resolve, believing in their purpose. And what is our purpose, brothers? To stand for righteousness, to defend the helpless, to make this world better than we found it. The battle of the soul. Each man here fights not only against flesh and steel, but against the greatest enemy of all, his own weakness. Do you feel it? That urge to falter, to step back when the fire burns too hot, when the weight of the shield grows too heavy? That is the test. That is the battle that separates the mighty from the fallen. And I tell you, brothers, you must not yield. Do not let the chains of fear bind you. Do not let past failures define you. For a man is not measured by how many times he falls, but by how many times he stands again. Do you think the great warriors of our time never knew defeat? Do you think the righteous never doubted? No. They stood not because they never fell, but because they refused to stay down. Rise, rise, even when your body screams for rest. Rise, even when the path is shrouded in darkness. For your time is now, your battle is today, and the fate of your soul, of your people, of your world rests not in the hands of distant kings or faraway lords, but in you, right here, right now. No more waiting. Too many men pray for an easier road when they should be praying for stronger backs. Too many men wish for better days, while they waste the ones they have. Brothers, we have no such luxury. We are warriors. We are men of action. We are the ones who shape the world with our hands, our swords, our deeds. What will they say of you when your time is done? Will they remember you as one who hesitated, one who let fear or weakness decide his fate? Or will they speak of a man who stood tall, who fought with all he had, who acted when it mattered most? This world is not changed by those who wait. It is changed by those who rise. Do not let your life be a tale of wasted days and silent regrets. Let it be a song of valor, a story of unyielding strength, a testament to a man who lived with fire in his heart and steel in his soul. Your choice, your destiny. A moment is upon us, a moment of decision. Will you let this day pass, just another sun in the sky, just another lost chance? Or will you seize it? Will you strike now? The weak will wait, the strong will rise. Which will you be? Then stand, warriors, lift your blades, the time is now. Brothers and sisters, gather around the fire, and let my words be a beacon to guide you through the darkness. For though the winds of trial may howl, and though the enemy may close ranks against us, know this: greatness is not bestowed by the heavens upon a fortunate few at birth. No, it is forged in the crucible of trials, tempered by the fires of perseverance, and polished by the hands of discipline. As the ancient walls of Jerusalem were raised stone by stone, so too is greatness built by the deeds of man. Consider this truth, uttered by wise men of old. Great men are not born great, they grow great. This wisdom, like the light of dawn breaking over the Holy Land, dispels the shadows of doubt and entitlement. It tells us that destiny is not written in the stars above, but carved by our hands, our swords, and our prayers. Let us reflect on this, for within it lies the key to the fortress of your own potential. The humble seed. Picture a seed, small and insignificant in appearance, buried beneath the soil. No one looks upon it and declares it mighty. Yet within that seed lies the potential for towering trees, for shade, for fruit, and for life. Great men, like that seed, do not begin their journey towering above the earth. They begin in humility, unseen, unheralded. And like the seed, they must endure the weight of the soil pressing down upon them, the trials of darkness, and the struggle to break through the surface. Many among us look at the great figures of history and see only their glory. We see King David's triumph over Goliath, yet forget the shepherd boy tending his flocks, honing his courage against the lion and the bear. We see the majesty of Solomon's wisdom, yet forget the years of learning, the seeking of truth, and the prayers for understanding. We see the triumphs of great generals, yet forget the years spent mastering the sword and the battlefield. Greatness is not a gift handed down. It is earned through toil, struggle, and unwavering faith. The forge of trials. Think not that greatness comes without pain. Just as the blacksmith's hammer must strike the raw iron to shape it, so must the trials of life strike us. The fire burns, the blows fall, and the untested metal cries out. But in the end, what emerges from the forge is not brittle ore, but a blade strong and true, capable of withstanding the fiercest battle. We, as crusaders, have seen such trials. We have stood beneath the blazing sun, our shields heavy, our spirits weary. We have faced enemies who outnumbered us, who sought to crush our resolve. And yet, through prayer and perseverance we have prevailed. These battles, brothers, are not curses, They are blessings, opportunities for us to grow stronger, to prove our mettle, to rise above. Do not fear failure, for even the most blessed knights have stumbled. Remember Peter, the rock upon which the church was built, who denied our Lord thrice before the dawn. Yet through his repentance and devotion, he rose to greatness. Your failures are but the ashes from which you may rise renewed, as the phoenix from the flame. The discipline of growth. Greatness is not an accident, it is the fruit of discipline. A knight does not rise from his slumber a master of the sword. He trains daily, enduring the blisters and bruises that come with each swing of the blade. He does not enter the battlefield without preparation, for to do so is to invite defeat. So too must you approach your life with discipline. Begin each day with purpose. Rise early, as the sun crests the horizon, and offer your prayers to the Almighty. Let your faith be your armor and your determination your shield. Take small steps, for the road to greatness is not traveled in a single leap, but in 1,000 steady strides. Do not grow weary or impatient, for even the strongest oak grows slowly. Remember that greatness is not a solitary endeavor. Just as we crusaders fight as one, so too must you seek the counsel of the wise, the encouragement of the faithful, and the fellowship of those who walk the same path. Iron sharpens iron, and man sharpens man. Surround yourself with those who challenge you, who inspire you, and who will not let you falter. The purpose of greatness. But I say to you, greatness is not an end unto itself. What use is a strong sword if it serves no noble cause? What value is wisdom if it does not guide others? True greatness is found in service to God, to your brethren, and to those in need. Consider the Lord himself, who, though the King of Kings, washed the feet of his disciples and bore the cross for the salvation of mankind. Greatness is humility in action, strength used for justice, and wisdom shared for the benefit of all. Ask yourself, why do you seek to grow great? If it is for glory alone, your path will be empty and your victories hollow. But if it is to serve a purpose greater than yourself, then your deeds will echo through eternity. Whether you wield the sword, the pen, or the plow, let your actions be guided by righteousness. The call to arms. So brothers and sisters, take heart. You are not bound by the circumstances of your birth or the limitations of your present state. Within you lies the seed of greatness, waiting to be nurtured. Take up the sword of perseverance, the shield of faith, and the banner of discipline. Walk boldly into the trials before you, for they are not meant to break you but to make you. Remember the words, great men are not born great, they grow great. Let them be a clarion call that stirs your soul and strengthens your resolve. The path is long, the battles are many, but the reward is eternal. Now go forth, as crusaders of your own destiny. Fight the good fight, run the race, and keep the faith. For greatness is not found in comfort, but in courage. And when the final chapter of your life is written, let it be said that you grew great, not for your own sake, but for the glory of God and the good of all mankind. Deus Vult.
Brothers and sisters, warriors of the righteous cause, lend me your ears and hear my words, for I have walked the path of trial and tribulation, and I have seen with my own eyes the truth written by the hands of fate. The storm rages, the enemy advances, the shadows stretch long upon the land. But hear me now, we are not those who cower. We are not those who shrink from hardship or flee in the face of suffering. We are Templars, and we know this truth. The flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. What is a flower that grows in fertile ground, with the sun warm upon its petals and the soft rain nourishing its roots? It is common. It knows not hardship, nor does it understand the weight of struggle. But what of the flower that dares to rise in the barren wasteland? What of the blossom that forces its way through stone, that withstands the desert wind and drinks from the mere drops of dew left by the night? That, my brethren, is the flower of the warrior. That is the soul of the unbreakable. And so I say to you, do not curse the hardship that weighs upon you. Do not dread the battles that scar your flesh and soul. For every trial endured, every sorrow overcome, every moment in which the world seeks to break you, these forge you into something greater. These carve from your spirit something that no man, no enemy, no force in heaven or hell can undo. The beauty of the unyielding. It is easy to walk when the road is smooth, but a true warrior strides forth when the earth cracks beneath their feet. It is easy to hold faith when the skies clear, but the faithful shine brightest when the heavens storm with fury. It is in the struggle that our greatness is revealed. You who stand before me, battered but unbroken, weary but unbowed, you are the rare and beautiful flower. You are the one who rises where others have fallen. You are the one who endures when the world would rather see you surrender. Know this: the fire does not consume the warrior, it tempers the steel of their soul. The wind does not scatter the strong, it teaches them to stand tall against the storm. The darkness does not devour the faithful, it is they who become the beacon, burning bright against the void. So, when the night grows long, and the weight of your burdens threatens to break you, remember this: it is not the easy path that makes us mighty. It is the path of struggle, the road of fire, the battle that seems unwinnable. A warrior's legacy. When we leave this world, we shall not be measured by the moments of ease we enjoyed, nor by the days that passed without struggle. We shall be remembered for the storms we endured, the foes we vanquished, and the unwavering strength we carried through the harshest of trials. Would you not rather be the warrior who fought against the tide and stood victorious, rather than the one who drifted upon gentle waters and achieved nothing? Would you not rather be the rare and beautiful flower that defied the barren land, rather than one of the many that wilted in comfort? I tell you this: do not seek an easy life. Seek a worthy struggle. Do not wish for a path without hardship. Wish for the strength to conquer every challenge. The world does not forge heroes in times of peace. It forges them in the fires of battle, in the cold of hardship, in the shadows of despair. And we shall rise from those shadows stronger than ever before. Stand, rise, conquer. So stand tall, my brothers and sisters. Do not falter in the face of adversity. Let your soul be tempered like steel. Let your heart burn with unyielding fire. Walk the path of hardship, knowing that with every step, you become something greater. And when the world looks upon you, let them see not one who was broken, not one who was defeated, but one who bloomed against all odds, who rose where others fell, who stood strong when all else crumbled. Be that rare and beautiful flower. Be the warrior that adversity could not break. Be the legend that echoes through eternity. Deus Vult. We rise, we endure, we conquer.
Brothers and sisters of the sword, gather and hear my words. We are all called to battle, whether with sword in hand or within the depths of our own souls. Every warrior, every knight, every soul that walks this earth has faced fear. You may tremble before the unknown, you may feel the cold touch of doubt upon your skin, but hear me now. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Do you think the bravest among us never feel fear? Do you believe the greatest warriors of legend never knew doubt? No, they felt fear, as any mortal does, but they did not let it rule them. They stood tall, sword in hand, and strode forward into the storm, not because they were fearless, but because they chose to fight despite their fear. The shadow of fear walks beside us all. Fear is a cunning adversary. It whispers in your ear when you stand upon the battlefield. It coils in your heart when you face the unknown. It tells you to retreat, to yield, to surrender. But I tell you this: fear is a test, not a chain. The coward lets fear bind his hands and cripple his will. He bows before it, allowing it to dictate his fate. But the true warrior, he who walks the path of strength and honor, does not flee from fear. He does not kneel before it, he conquers it. Fear will not disappear. It will not dissolve like mist beneath the rising sun. It will always be there lurking, waiting for the moment to strike. But you are stronger than your fear. You are greater than the shadows that seek to claim you. Victory belongs to the bold. Look to history. Look to the warriors who have gone before us. They did not march to war without fear. They did not raise their banners without doubt, but they did so regardless. The knight does not charge into battle because he is fearless. He does so because he knows that victory belongs only to those who are bold enough to fight. The crusader does not storm the walls of the enemy because he lacks hesitation. He does so because he knows that righteousness must be defended at all costs. The leader does not make decisions because he is certain of every outcome. He does so because he knows that standing still is the only true failure. Courage is the act of walking forward when every voice in your mind screams for you to stop. It is the moment when you raise your sword despite your shaking hands. It is the instant when you choose to fight rather than to flee. And that, my brothers and sisters, is how warriors are made. The battlefield of life awaits you. Not all battles are fought with steel and blood. Many wars are waged within the soul. Some fight the battle of self-doubt, wondering if they are worthy. You are. Some battle against past failures, fearing they cannot rise again. You can. Some stand at the edge of great decisions, paralyzed by uncertainty. Move forward. Do not let fear decide your fate. Every day you hesitate, every hour you delay, every moment you bow to fear is a victory you hand to your enemies. Do not give them that satisfaction. Rise, stand tall, face what must be faced, and know that the only true defeat comes not from falling, but from refusing to rise again. The mark of a true warrior. The world does not belong to those who wait in the shadows, hiding from their destiny. It belongs to those who dare to step forward, to those who take up their sword, their shield, their cause, and proclaim, "I will not let fear rule me. I will not let doubt own me. I will fight, and I will win." When you ride into battle, whether upon a field of war or in the trials of your own life, remember this. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to defy fear. It is the will to fight, despite every whisper of doubt. And so I ask you now, warrior, what will you choose? Will you bow before fear, or will you rise and triumph over it? The choice is yours. The time is now. The battlefield awaits. Rise, conquer, and become legend. Deus Vult. Brothers and sisters of the sword, bearers of the righteous flame, stand with me and hear these words. Many will gaze upon the world and see only what their eyes present before them. Surface, shape, shadow, and light. They will judge a man by his armor, a blade by its gleam, and a path by its ease. But we, warriors of purpose, know the truth that lies beyond the veil of appearance. Do not be fooled by its commonplace appearance. Like so many things, it is not what is outside, but what is inside that counts. These words are carved into the heart of every warrior who has tasted the dust of battle, who has stood before the gates of trial and dared to press forward. The true strength of a man is not found in his stature, nor is the worth of a soul measured by the splendor of its garments. The fire that burns within, that is where the measure of greatness is found. The hidden strength of the warrior, look to the battlefield, and you shall see what I speak of. The gilded knight, clad in shining mail, whose tunic bears the mark of nobility. He may fall upon the first strike, for his heart is weak, and his spirit wavers. Yet beside him stands a warrior of humble cloth, his blade worn, his shield bearing the scars of 1,000 battles. He is unshaken. He does not yield. Why? Because his strength does not lie in the metal he wears, but in the steel of his soul. So too must we be. The world will seek to judge you by what is seen, the wealth you hold, the titles you bear, the face that greets the mirror. But none of these things hold true value. It is the courage in your heart, the fire in your soul, and the unwavering spirit that rises in the face of adversity that defines you. Do not look upon your reflection and see only flesh and bone. See the warrior that resides within. For when the battle horns sound and the shadows rise, it is not gold nor titles that will save you. It is the unyielding fire of your will. The weight of true worth. What is a sword if it is made of brittle iron? It may gleam in the light, but at the first strike it will shatter. What is a shield if it is carved from weak wood? It may bear intricate designs, but it will splinter upon the first blow. So too is the heart of a man. If it is empty, if it is built only upon vanity and falsehood, then no matter how grand its outward form, it will crumble under the weight of life's trials. But if the heart is forged in honor, in faith, in unbreakable purpose, then no force in this world shall break it. The greatest warriors of history were not always the strongest in body, nor the tallest in form, nor the wealthiest in coin. They were those who bore a fire within, a spirit unshaken, a resolve that even the gods would take heed of. And so I ask you, where is your worth? Do you seek greatness in what the world deems valuable? Or do you seek it in the unshakable strength of character, in the steadfastness of your purpose, in the resilience that no blade can sever? Rise beyond the illusion. Let the world look upon you and misjudge you. Let them see only the commonplace and the ordinary, for in doing so, they reveal their blindness to true greatness. Let them underestimate you, for there is no greater victory than to rise above those who thought you weak. When the moment of trial comes, when the battle rages and the storm descends, it will not be the finely dressed nor the richly adorned who endure. It will be those who have cultivated strength within, who have forged their souls in fire, who have prepared their hearts for battle. Do not seek to impress the world with mere appearance. Seek to astonish it with the undeniable force of your spirit. Let your actions roar louder than any title. Let your courage stand taller than any fortress. Let your honor shine brighter than the gilded halls of kings. For when history remembers the great, it does not recall the clothing they wore nor the wealth they possessed. Enemies believe you weak, then show them the strength they never saw coming. Let your trials seek to break you, then rise stronger than ever before. Let the world judge you by its fleeting measures, then redefine what true worth is. For we are the warriors whose strength is not worn, but lived. We are the fire that cannot be extinguished, the will that cannot be bent, the spirit that echoes through eternity. Now go forth, not in pursuit of empty grandeur, but in the pursuit of true greatness. Rise, fight, and conquer, for it is not what is outside that counts, but the unbreakable might that dwells within. Deus vult, stand, endure, triumph.
Brothers and sisters, warriors and seekers of greatness, hear my words. There is no glory without toil, no victory without battle, no triumph without hardship. The only time success comes before work is in the dictionary. But life is no mere collection of words. It is a war to be won, a path to be carved, a destiny to be forged with sweat, steel, and the fire of an unyielding heart. Many dream of greatness, but few are willing to pay the price. They pray for victory but refuse to march into battle. They desire the fruits of labor but fear the weight of the plow. And so they remain as they are, unfulfilled, forgotten, buried beneath the weight of their own inaction. But we are not like them. We are warriors. We are the chosen. We are the ones who wake before the sun and toil until the stars burn bright in the heavens. And because we work, we shall succeed. The burden of the weak, the destiny of the strong. Do not envy the lazy, for they will taste only the bitterness of regret. Do not be deceived by the ones who seek the easy road, for they will never reach the mountain top. The weak dream of riches, but fear the hardship of earning them. They wish for strength, but refuse the burden of discipline. They long for honor, but shrink before the trials that forge it. They ask, "Why must the road be so hard?" And I say to them, "Because the road leads to greatness. The sword is useless unless tempered by fire. The body is frail unless hardened by training. The mind is weak unless sharpened by challenge. And the soul? The soul remains a prisoner unless it dares to fight for its freedom. Do you seek success? Then toil, sweat, bleed if you must, but never retreat. For only those who labor shall harvest. Only those who strive shall conquer. Only those who endure shall stand victorious." The code of a true warrior. A knight of honor does not wait for fortune to smile upon them. They wake with the sun and train before others stir. They sharpen their steel while others rest. They study the battlefield while others remain blind. And because of this, when the moment of battle comes, they are ready. Because of this, when the storms of life rage, they do not falter. Because of this, when others stumble, they march forward. For success is not given, it is earned. Gold does not appear in one's hands without effort. Victory is not granted to those who merely wish for it. It is taken, it is forged, it is fought for, and only those willing to pay the price of work shall know its reward. Never fear the work, embrace the struggle. Some may say, "I am not strong enough," then become strong. Some may say, "I do not know the way," then learn the way. Some may say, "The battle is too great," then fight all the harder, for there is no obstacle too mighty, no challenge too great, no enemy too fierce that cannot be overcome by a soul determined to succeed. Do not ask for an easy road. Ask for the strength to endure the hard one. Do not pray for lighter burdens. Pray for a stronger back, for the trials before you are not meant to break you. They are meant to make you worthy. The lazy will fall, the cowards will turn back, but the warrior will rise. And that warrior is you. The oath of the true victor. I shall not wait for fortune to favor me. I shall claim it with my own hands. I shall not fear hardship. I shall embrace it as the crucible of my strength. I shall not dream of victory. I shall fight for it with every breath. For the only time success comes before work is in the dictionary. But in the world of warriors, in the realm of champions, in the hearts of those who dare to rise, work comes first, and success follows. And I, like all who walk the path of greatness, shall toil, shall strive, shall endure, until victory is mine. Now rise and claim your destiny on fire.
Brothers and sisters, hear me now, for these are not words lightly spoken. They are the call to arms, the rallying cry of those who bear the cross upon their hearts and the fire of righteousness in their souls. They are the words of our forebears and the words of our destiny. We will stand and fight. Let these words echo in your hearts as they do in mine, for they carry the weight of our cause and the strength of our unity. The call to purpose. From the moment we swore our sacred oaths, we knew our path would not be one of ease or comfort. We are not men and women who seek rest or riches. We are warriors of a higher calling. The road we walk is narrow and treacherous, beset on all sides by the forces of doubt, despair, and darkness. Yet we do not falter, for we are armed not only with sword and shield, but with faith and purpose. We fight not for glory fades like the mist at dawn. We fight not for wealth, for gold turns to dust in the hands of the unworthy. No, we fight for something far greater. We fight for the light in the face of darkness. We fight for truth when lies abound. We fight for hope where despair reigns. And above all, we fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. Standing against the tide. There will come moments, and perhaps you have already faced them, when the tide seems insurmountable. The enemy will come, fierce and unrelenting, whispering lies into your ears. that you are too weak, that the cause is lost, that to stand and fight is futile. But hear me now, brethren, the tide is a lie. It seeks to break your resolve, but it cannot touch your soul unless you let it. The enemy wishes for you to kneel, to surrender your strength, your courage, your will. But we are not a people who kneel to the darkness, no matter how many stand against us. No matter how fierce the storm, we will plant our feet and hold our ground. For when we stand together, shield to shield, heart to heart, no tide can sweep us away. The strength within. Look within yourselves, my brothers and sisters, and you will find a wellspring of strength that cannot be quenched. It is the strength of those who came before us, who built this brotherhood with their blood and their prayers. It is the strength of the Almighty, who walks with us even in the darkest of hours. And it is the strength of your own spirit, forged in the fires of trial and purified by your unwavering faith. Do not be deceived into thinking that strength is the absence of fear. Strength is feeling fear and choosing to act regardless. Strength is rising to your feet when every bone in your body begs you to yield. Strength is facing the impossible and saying, "Not today. I will not falter. I will not flee. I will stand and fight." The power of unity. A lone knight on the battlefield is vulnerable, no matter how skilled, but an army, a brotherhood, is unbreakable. Together we are a fortress. Each one of us a stone, bound together by faith and loyalty. Together we are an unyielding force, a testament to the power of unity. When you feel your strength begin to waver, look to your brothers and sisters beside you. See their resolve, their courage, and let it ignite your own. For as we stand and fight, we do so not as individuals, but as one body, one purpose, one unshakable force. The glory of the fight. Make no mistake, to fight is to suffer. It is to endure hardship and pain, to bear the wounds of battle both seen and unseen. But it is also to live. For what is life without purpose? What is existence without struggle? We are not creatures made for comfort. We are warriors forged for a higher calling, and in the fight we find our true selves. There is no shame in the scars you bear, for each one is a mark of your courage, a story of a battle fought, and a testament to your will to endure. Wear them with pride, for they are the proof that you stood when others would have fallen, that you fought when others would have fled. The eternal promise. Let us remember that our fight is not for today alone. It is for tomorrow and for all the days to come. It is for those who will walk this path after us, for the children yet unborn, for the hope of a world where the light prevails. Our fight echoes through eternity, and every blow we strike, every stand we take, reverberates through the ages. And though the battle may be long, though the night may seem endless, take heart, the dawn always comes. The light will always return. For we are not alone in this fight. The Almighty fights with us, guiding our hands and strengthening our resolve. And with Him there is no force on earth or beyond that can overcome us. The final charge. So I ask you now, brothers and sisters, will you stand? Will you fight? Will you hold the line against the darkness even when it presses upon you with all its might? Will you rise again and again, no matter how many times you are struck down? I know your answer, for it is the answer of every true warrior who has ever walked this path. It is the answer of those who carry the cross upon their hearts and the fire of purpose in their souls. It is the answer of those who understand that to stand and fight is not a choice but a calling. Let the enemy come. Let the storm rage. Let the tide rise. We will not falter. We will not yield. We will stand and fight. And when the battle is over, when the dust has settled and the light has triumphed over the darkness, we will stand together, scarred but unbroken, victorious not only in body but in spirit. For we are the bearers of the light, the guardians of hope, the warriors of the eternal cause. Raise your swords, raise your voices, raise your hearts. We will stand and fight. Deus Vult. Stand and decide, warriors of the cross. The time is now. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. These words, like the ringing of steel upon steel, echo across the ages, through the halls of kings, across the sands of battlefields, and within the hearts of warriors. Time is the greatest gift bestowed upon us by the Almighty, yet it is also the greatest test of our resolve. Will you squander it in fear and hesitation, or will you seize it and carve your destiny upon the very stones of history? I have walked the sacred streets of Jerusalem, where faith and war clash like the tempest upon the mountains. I have witnessed the rise and fall of great men, those who stood unshaken and those who wavered in the face of uncertainty. And in all the battles fought, in all the hardships endured, one truth remains unbroken. It is not the years we are given, but what we do with them that defines us. The coward wishes for more time. He laments the days lost, clings to the past, and fears the unknown road ahead. But the warrior, the true knight of the cross, does not beg for more time. He takes what is given and makes it his own. He does not ask for an easier path, but rather for the strength to walk the one before him. He does not waste his days in idleness, but rides forth with fire in his soul and steel in his hand. Time will not wait for you. The tide of battle does not pause, nor does the enemy hesitate. Every breath you take, every heartbeat within your chest, is a gift that must not be wasted. Will you cower in the shadows of indecision, or will you rise and claim the life that is yours to forge? Your destiny is a blade, yet unsharpened. It is your hands that must temper it. The past is beyond your reach, the future is unknown, but this moment, this battle, this choice, is yours alone. The righteous do not wait for fate to hand them victory. No, they grasp it with bloodied hands. They carve their names into the annals of time, and they stand unbowed before the trials that seek to break them. You were not born to waste away in doubt. You were not meant to watch as others decide the course of history. You are warriors of the light, knights of unwavering purpose. Your banner must not be one of regret, but of triumph. Let the world see the fire in your eyes and the strength in your step. Let them hear the roar of your conviction and know that you are not one to falter. For the time is given to you, and what you do with it shall echo beyond the grave. Stand with me, warriors. Decide now, in this very moment, that you shall not let time slip through your fingers. Decide that you will fight, that you will rise, that you will make every breath count. The bells of destiny are ringing, the banners of war are raised, and our place in eternity awaits. Take up your sword, step forward, and make your choice, for the time is now, and victory belongs to those who dare to seize it.
Brothers and sisters of the cross, heed my words. The battlefield of life is merciless. It is an endless storm, a relentless tempest that batters the soul and tests the mettle of even the most steadfast warrior. But listen well, for I tell you this: none shall strike you down harder than life itself. No enemy, no blade, no siege upon these sacred walls will match the cruelty of fate and the weight of despair. But we are not here to crumble like broken shields upon the sands. No, we are warriors of faith and perseverance, and we rise, not because we are spared from suffering, but because we endure it. It is not the force of your strike that shall define you, but the will to stand after the blow has landed. Have you not felt the world bear down upon your shoulders? Have you not been struck with the cold hand of misfortune? Betrayed by those who swore loyalty, wounded by the sting of loss? Yes, you have, and so have we all. The weight of existence seeks to crush the spirit, to force us to kneel in surrender. But this is not our way. We do not yield, we do not break, and we do not falter in the face of adversity. We rise again and again, and again. I tell you, brothers and sisters, the worth of a warrior is not in how strong they strike, but in how they rise after being cast to the ground. It is in the fire that we are tempered, in the darkness that our faith is tested. A sword is not forged in still waters, but in the furnace of trial, shaped by the hammer of hardship. Look to Jerusalem. Look to the sacred stones upon which we stand. This holy land has been burned and besieged, yet it remains. And so too shall you. The enemy may come like the tide, strong, unyielding, and full of wrath. But what is the tide to the immovable mountain? You are the mountain. You are the unbreakable shield and the unyielding sword of righteousness. When despair whispers in your ear, when exhaustion tugs at your soul, when you fall to your knees and feel the weight of all the world upon your back, do not stay down. Rise, rise, though your body aches. Rise, though your heart shatters. Rise, though your path is dark and full of peril. For every time you rise, you defy fate itself. Every time you rise, you prove to the heavens that you are worthy of the battle. It is not the easy path that shapes the legend. It is the path walked in suffering and in triumph. Do you seek victory? Then you must be willing to bleed for it. Do you seek glory? Then you must be willing to endure hardship. Do you seek to conquer the trials of life? Then you must stand when others fall. That is how winning is done. That is how the righteous prevail. Let your scars be your testament. Let your wounds be the scripture of your struggle. Let your trials carve your name into the annals of eternity. So stand with me now, warriors of faith. Stand, and let the world see that you will not be undone. Stand, and let the heavens hear your oath. No force in this world shall keep us from our destiny. No storm shall drown the fire in our hearts. We are warriors, and warriors do not yield. So rise, rise, and march forth, for victory belongs to those who refuse to surrender. Rise, warriors of the cross. Embrace the past, conquer the future. Oh yes, the past can hurt. It can wound as deeply as the sharpest blade, leaving scars upon the soul that time itself cannot erase. It can weigh upon the heart like the armor of a fallen knight, dragging one to their knees. But hear me now, brothers and sisters. You may either run from it or learn from it. I have seen the past haunt even the greatest of warriors. I have seen mighty knights falter beneath the burden of regret, their hands trembling over the sword they once wielded with unwavering strength. I have seen noble hearts shrouded in sorrow, their spirits shackled by memories of failure. But I tell you this, it is not the past that defines you. It is what you do with it that shapes your destiny. You may run from what has been. You may seek to bury it beneath the sands of time, to pretend that the wounds never came, that the losses never scarred you, but you will only be running from yourself. You cannot escape the trials that forged you, nor can you flee from the lessons written in the ink of your own struggle. Or you may stand. You may face the past, learn from it, and rise anew. The past is not a prison, but a forge. It is there to temper you, to harden your will, to make you stronger than you ever believed possible. A blade that has never known the fire is brittle and weak. A warrior who has never known hardship is unprepared for battle. The past is filled with both glory and pain. It has seen you falter, but it has also seen you endure. It has known your suffering, but it has also witnessed your strength. It has tested you, and yet you still stand. Let that be your answer to every doubt, to every fear, to every shadow that tries to pull you back. You are still standing. Warriors of the light, I tell you this, we do not kneel before the past. We take it, wield it as a weapon, and march forward into battle. We are not prisoners of regret. We are conquerors of fate. So, raise your head, steel your heart, and let the world see what you have become. You are not broken. You are reforged. You are not lost. You are rising. The past has tried to break you, but it has only made you stronger. Now take up your sword, lift high your banner, and ride forth with the fire of 1,000 warriors. For you are forged in battle, tempered in hardship, and destined for victory. The past does not hold you. You hold the past. And with it, you shall build a future that no force on this earth can tear asunder. Rise, warriors of faith. Your destiny awaits. When you decide to be something, you can be it. That is the law written upon the heart of all who walk the path of strength, of courage, of unyielding will. It is the fire that burns in the soul of those who refuse to kneel before doubt, those who stand unshaken before the tempests of life, and those who forge their fate upon the anvil of their own making. I stand before you, not as one who was given power, but as one who chose to seize it. And so too can you. Brothers and sisters, I have walked the path of battle, trod the bloodied stones of Jerusalem, and stood against the tide of despair. I have seen fear claim the hearts of many, but I tell you this, fear is but a shadow, a whisper that vanishes when met with the light of purpose. You are not bound by the chains of circumstance, nor are you the servant of fate. You are the master of your destiny, the architect of your soul, the warrior who shapes their own legend. There will be those who whisper that you are not enough, that you are unworthy, that you do not possess the strength to rise. But I say, let them whisper, let them doubt, for their words are as wind upon the mountains. And you, my brothers and sisters, are as unshakable as the stone upon which we stand. Do you seek greatness? Then become great, not in mere words or idle dreams, but in deeds, in sweat, in blood, in fire. Do you seek to be a warrior? Then take up your sword, steel your heart, and walk the path of discipline. Do you seek to change your fate? Then strike now, carve your own road, and let the world tremble before your will. The battlefield of life is vast, and it will test you. The weight of struggle will bear down upon your shoulders like an iron yoke, and the road ahead will be treacherous. But you are not made for ease and comfort. You are made for glory. You are forged in the crucible of hardship, tempered by the flames of adversity, sharpened upon the grindstone of trial. And when the hour of reckoning comes, when the enemy stands before you, when the voices of doubt creep into your mind, you shall not waver, you shall not fall, you shall not yield. Take this moment, take this life, and claim it as your own. Whatever you dream, become it. Whatever you seek, take it. Whatever you long for, fight for it. For those who decide to be something, become it. That is the way of the warrior, the code of the knight, the path of the Templar. So stand with me, and let the world hear our cry. We are the unbreakable. We are the unstoppable. We are the warriors of destiny, and we shall claim what is ours. Now rise. The time for waiting has passed. The time for action is now. Go forth and become what you were always meant to be. Warriors of faith, seekers of truth, children of destiny, stand with me and hear my words. Many believe that the path of their life is set in stone, that the choices they have made have bound them like iron chains. that the roads they didn't walk are lost to them forever. But I tell you this, no soul is beyond redemption, no journey is beyond reclaiming, and no dream is beyond reach. It's never too late to be what you might have been. These words hold the fire of truth. They are the cry of the warrior who rises from the dust, the voice of the soul that refuses to be broken, the anthem of those who will not surrender their purpose. The enemy would have you believe that time is your master, that missed chances cannot be regained, that past failures define your future. Lies. The past is but ashes in the wind. It is the strength of your will, now that determines what you shall become. The fire of destiny still burns. Look around you, warriors. The battlefield of life is filled with those who once stood strong, but have since fallen to despair. Some believe they are too old to change, too weary to rise, too broken to fight, but they forget. The mightiest oak was once but a seed, buried beneath the weight of the earth. No matter how many years have passed, no matter the burdens upon your shoulders, your destiny still calls to you. Will you answer? Will you rise? Will you claim what has always been yours? Do not be deceived into thinking that the road to greatness is closed. There is no lock upon the gates of triumph, but the one you place there yourself. Break the chains of regret. Regret is a poison that seeps into the soul, whispering of what could have been. It tells you that the time has passed, that your moment is gone. Strike it down. The past is a lesson, not a prison. If you have longed to be a leader, then lead. If you have wished to wield the sword of knowledge, then learn. If you have sought to fight for what is right, then rise and do so. For every breath in your lungs is a second chance. Every sunrise is a call to action. And every moment is an opportunity to become more than you were. Do not let the grave steal your dreams while you yet live. Your true battle begins. Now a warrior is not judged by the battles fought in the past, but by the wars they stand ready to face now. So long as your heart beats, you are not finished. So long as your spirit burns, you are not defeated. So long as you believe, you are not lost. Look upon the battlefield of your life. See the mountains before you. What stands in your way? Fear? Doubt? The voices of those who say you cannot change. Silence them with action. Strike them down with courage. Prove them wrong. History does not remember those who surrendered to fate. It remembers those who defied it. It sings of those who, despite all odds, rose from the ashes and became more than the world ever thought possible. A call to those who would rise. I do not speak to those who are content to remain as they are. I do not call to those who are satisfied with mediocrity. I call to those who yearn for more, to those who seek greatness, to those who refuse to be bound by the past, to those who will fight for the life they were meant to live. Are you such a soul? Will you rise with me? Will you cast aside doubt and step forward into your destiny? For I tell you this, it is not too late. It never was. It never shall be. The only time that matters is now. So stand, warrior. Take up your sword. Take up your purpose. Take up the life that was always meant to be yours. For you are not defeated. You are not finished. You are only just beginning. Deus Vult. Rise, conquer, become on fire.
When you're lost in the darkness, look for the light. A Templar's call to strength. Brothers and sisters, warriors of the righteous cause, stand with me and hear these words. For we live in a world where shadows stretch long and deep, where the night seeks to swallow the hearts of men and doubt whispers in the ears of the faithful. But I say to you, when you are lost in the darkness, look for the light. Darkness is the ally of despair, of weakness, of surrender. It seeps into the soul of even the bravest warrior, bidding him to yield, to bow, to turn away from his purpose. It seeks to steal the fire from our hearts, the steel from our hands, and the will from our spirits. But we are Templars, we are warriors of the light, and we do not yield. What is the light we seek? It is not the false glow of gold, nor the fleeting spark of earthly pleasures. The light is within us, forged in the fires of faith, honor, and duty. It is the guiding star above the battlefield, the dawn that follows even the longest night, the divine radiance that no shadow can overcome. We are the bearers of that light. When the world is shrouded in despair, we must be the torches that lead the way. When our brothers and sisters falter, we must be their beacon. For it is in our darkest moments that the fire of our souls must burn brightest. Do not fear the darkness, my brothers and sisters. Do not let it claim your spirit. The night is long, but it is not eternal. Every challenge, every hardship, every trial we endure only strengthens our fire. The enemy comes with blades drawn and hatred in his heart, but he shall not prevail, for the light within us shall drive him into the abyss. There will be moments when the burden seems too great, when our shields crack, when our swords grow heavy in our hands. But that is when we must remember. We are not alone. The light of our brothers, our sisters, our ancestors, and our faith stands beside us. Together, we form a blazing inferno that no darkness can withstand. If you find yourself lost, if the shadows threaten to consume you, raise your eyes to the heavens and remember who you are. You are warriors of the righteous path. You are the defenders of truth. You are the flames that shall never be extinguished. So march forward, my brothers and sisters. Let your light shine upon the world. Let your faith be your shield, your courage be your weapon, and your honor be your guide. Stand strong, for the night is fleeting, and the dawn will come. And when it does, let it find us victorious. Deus vult, the light prevails. But remember, the light is not only in battle. It is in the kindness we show to those in need, in the wisdom we share with those who seek guidance, in the strength we lend to those who have none left to give. For the true warrior does not fight for glory, nor for gold, but for righteousness and for the legacy of the just. When your path is uncertain, when the trials before you seem insurmountable, recall the stories of our forebears, the great knights who stood before us, who faced the same darkness, who knew the same fears, and yet they prevailed. Their spirits march with us still, their voices carried on the wind, urging us to rise, to fight, to believe. We do not walk alone, nor do we carry this burden without cause. For what is a life lived without purpose? What is strength if not used to protect and uplift others? The true measure of a warrior is not in his might alone, but in the way he carries himself when the world weighs heavy upon his shoulders. So let the world see our light, not just in battle, but in our every deed. Let it be known that the Templars stand unwavering, unbroken, steadfast as the mountain against the storm. No shadow shall consume us, no doubt shall break us, no enemy shall drive us into despair. For as long as one of us carries the light, it shall never fade, it shall never die, it shall never be overcome. Brothers and sisters, let this be our vow. We shall fight, we shall endure, we shall rise above the darkness, for we are the chosen bearers of light. So take up your sword, take up your faith, and let your every step be one that lights the path for those who follow. For the light, for the Templars, for eternity. Deus vult. Brothers and sisters in arms, warriors of will and spirit, hear my words. The world is no easy place. It is a battlefield, stretching far beyond the walls of Jerusalem, beyond the deserts, beyond the high stone towers of kings. Life itself is a war, one that tests us every moment we draw breath. And in this war, there is no single stroke of the sword that can end the fight in an instant. No, victory is not won in a single act, but in solving the battle before you, one fight at a time, one moment at a time, one problem at a time. The path of the strong. There will be those who falter, who crumble beneath the weight of their burdens. The weak look ahead and see an army of trials standing before them, and they cower. They whisper, "The road is too long, the challenge too great, I cannot do this." But we are not the weak. We are warriors. A warrior does not look at the horizon and fear the journey. A warrior does not measure the weight of the world and weep. A warrior does not shudder when hardship stands before them. A warrior sees only the battle that is before them. One strike, one defense, one step forward. That is how wars are won. That is how victory is seized. That is how life is conquered. The battle within. You will stand upon the battlefield of life, and your enemies will come. Some will be seen, men who stand against you, words spoken to break you, obstacles set to make you stumble. But the greatest enemies will be unseen, the whispers of doubt, the fear that coils in your heart, the despair that tells you to surrender. I tell you this, warriors of the light, stand fast, look forward, face the problem before you and strike it down. Do not seek to fight every battle at once. Do not let the weight of tomorrow keep you from swinging your sword today. Do not try to conquer the entire world in a single breath. Instead, solve the problem before you. If a wall stands in your way, do not fear the walls yet to come. Bring it down. If an enemy blocks your path, do not cower at those who may come after. Defeat them. If hardship grips your soul, do not drown in thoughts of endless suffering. Endure this moment, and the next shall follow. One problem, one solution. One battle at a time. That is the way of the warrior. That is the way of victory. The unbreakable mind. The world will try to break you. It will place before you trials greater than you have ever known. It will test your resolve. It will make you believe that you are too weak, too tired, too small to make a difference. And perhaps in the darkest moments, you will believe it. But hear me now. You are greater than you know. No soldier ever won a war by looking at the battlefield and saying, "It is too vast." No warrior ever felled an enemy by thinking he is too strong. Instead, they do what must be done. They solve the problem before them. The enemy stands before you. Draw your sword. The road is blocked. Find another path. The darkness looms. Light your fire and walk forward. A single victory, no matter how small, is still a victory. And victory stacked upon victory leads to triumph, and triumph leads to glory. What must be done? I say this to you, warrior, do not fear the battle ahead. The path to victory is built with the stones of challenge. The only way forward is through trial. The only way to achieve greatness is to solve the problem before you. Look not to the impossible task. Fear not the endless road. Dread not the burdens of tomorrow. Do what you can do now. Face what is before you. Stand, fight, and move forward. Because this is the way of the strong. This is the way of the bold. This is the way of those who refuse to be defeated, and you are one of them. A final word to the warriors of tomorrow. If these words have reached your heart, if you feel the fire of battle stirring in your blood, then heed this call. Subscribe now to this channel and become part of this army of strength and resilience. Activate notifications so you never miss the next battle cry. Like this video as a warrior's vow to never falter, never waver, and never stop fighting. Comment below, what is the battle before you today? What problem will you conquer? Share this message with those who need to hear it because no warrior fights alone. Stand strong, fight hard, and never ever give up. Victory is won, one battle at a time. Our scars are our strength. There's a truth that few can see unless they've walked the edge of darkness and back. A truth carved into those who faced loss, pain, and failure. The scars we carry, they tell a story. Some see them as marks of weakness, remnants of battles fought and lost. Others see them as memories of moments they wish they could erase. But I see them differently. Our scars can destroy us, even after the wounds that created them have healed. They whisper in the quiet of the night, reminding us of the pain, the failure, the times we weren't enough. They have the power to cripple us if we let them, to turn us into shadows of who we could be, to hold us hostage to the past. But here's the thing, scars are not just reminders of pain, they're proof of survival. Each one of them is a testament that you endured something that tried to break you. They show that you fought, bled and suffered, but you're still here. Survival isn't just about staying alive. It's about learning to live again. To take what tried to destroy you and turn it into something that empowers you. The fire that burned you can also light your way forward, but only if you have the courage to face it. I've seen the worst of what the world has to offer. I've felt the crushing weight of loss. I've seen Jerusalem devour the weak, the innocent, and the hopeful. But in the darkest moments, I learned something critical. You don't have to be defined by the pain. You don't have to let the scars write the rest of your story. The choice we all face. Every one of us carries scars, visible or not. Some are the result of battles we fought with the world. Others come from battles within ourselves. And every scar brings with it a choice. Do we let it weaken us, or do we let it strengthen us? The easy path is to give in, to believe that the pain is all there is, that life is nothing but suffering and loss. To let the darkness consume us. I've been there. I've stood on the precipice of despair, tempted to believe that nothing matters. But I chose differently. I chose to rise. Not because it was easy, not because I wasn't afraid, but because I realized that every scar I carried gave me a reason to fight harder. Every failure taught me how to stand stronger. Every loss reminded me of what's at stake and why I couldn't stop. The scars didn't disappear, but they stopped being my chains. Instead, they became my armor. The power of transformation. Transformation isn't about forgetting what happened. It's about reshaping what it means. It's about taking the pain and turning it into strength. Think about it. When you work a muscle, it tears before it grows stronger. When metal is forged, it's tempered by fire. Diamonds are created under immense pressure. The process is never easy. It's painful, but it's necessary. Your scars are no different. They're the fire that can forge you into something unbreakable. But that transformation doesn't happen on its own. It requires effort, discipline, and above all, the will to keep going when every part of you wants to give up. It means facing your fears head-on. It means embracing the pain instead of running from it. And it means understanding that every scar is a lesson, a tool, a weapon that you can use to fight for what matters. You don't have to become a hero to transform. You just have to believe that your story isn't over yet. The strength to endure. There's a myth that strength is about never falling. That to be strong, you have to be invincible. But real strength comes from endurance. It comes from getting back up every time you're knocked down. Endurance isn't about ignoring the pain, it's about carrying it with you and moving forward anyway. It's about holding on to hope even when the darkness seems endless. When I look at Jerusalem, I see a city that's been broken time and time again. But I also see resilience. I see people who refuse to give up, no matter how many times they've been pushed to the brink. That's what endurance is. It's the power to keep fighting, no matter the odds. And it's not something you're born with. It's something you build. Every time you choose to rise instead of fall, to fight instead of surrender, you're building that strength. The fight within. The greatest battles aren't fought on city streets or in dark alleys. They're fought in the depths of your own mind. The fight against fear, doubt, and despair is one you'll face every day. But here's the truth. You're stronger than you think. You've already survived things you thought would destroy you. You've already proven that you have the resilience to endure. The question is, what will you do with that strength? You can use it to fight for a better life, a better world, a better version of yourself. Or you can let it go to waste, trapped in the chains of your past. The choice is yours. Why we fight. When you transform your scars into strength, you're not just fighting for yourself. You're fighting for everyone who needs hope. Everyone who's still struggling to find their way out of the darkness. The world is full of people who are lost, broken, and afraid. People who think they're alone in their pain. But when they see you rise, when they see you fight, it gives them a reason to believe that they can do the same. That's what it means to be a symbol. Not to be perfect, but to be an example of what's possible. To show that even the most broken among us can find the strength to rise again. Embrace the shadows. I've lived in the shadows for a long time. I've made them my home, my weapon, my ally. But I've also learned this. The shadows aren't something to fear. They're a part of us, just like the scars. The darkness inside you isn't your enemy. It's a reminder of where you've been, of what you've survived. And when you embrace it, when you make peace with it, it stops controlling you. Your scars, your pain, your shadows, they don't define you. They shape you. And when you learn to wield them, they make you unstoppable. A new beginning. So here's my challenge to you. Take a long look at your scars. Don't hide from them. Don't wish them away. Face them, understand them, and then decide what they mean to you. Will they be your chains or your wings? The choice is yours. But remember this. Every scar carries the potential for transformation. Every wound holds the seed of strength. And every moment of darkness is an opportunity to rise into the light. You are not defined by your pain. You are defined by what you do with it. The world needs people who've been through the fire and come out stronger. People who know how to fight, endure, and inspire. People like you. So rise, fight, endure, transform. And remember, your scars are not the end of your story. They're the beginning of a new one. And it's a story only you can write. Rise, warriors of the cross. The fire within you shall never die. Our survival instinct is our greatest source of inspiration. It is the sacred fire that refuses to be extinguished. The divine force that commands us to rise when all else seeks to bury us beneath the weight of despair. It is the voice that speaks not from the lips of kings or the halls of scholars, but from within. The very essence of our souls that refuses surrender, that demands we stand when all others have fallen. I have walked upon the sacred stones of Jerusalem. I have seen the strong crumble and the fearful rise. I have stood beneath the blazing sun and in the shadows of death. And in all my days of battle, in all my hours of hardship, one truth has remained unbroken. Those who survive are those who refuse to be defeated. It is not strength alone that grants victory, nor is it mere skill at arms. The sword in your hand may shatter, the shield upon your arm may break, but what cannot be broken is the will that drives you forward. It is your survival instinct, your undying will. The fire that lives within your heart and refuses to be quenched. Many will stand before you. Tyrants, foes, those who seek to destroy all that you cherish. They will believe that they hold the power, that they command your fate. But I tell you this, no man, no force, no legion of darkness can bend the will of one who refuses to yield. You are warriors of the cross. You are the unbreakable, the undying, the ones whom fate cannot chain. When the world turns to chaos, when all seems lost, when the enemy surrounds you on all sides and the darkness looms ever closer, it is then, and only then, that the true warrior rises. Remember this, pain is temporary, but honor is eternal. Fear is fleeting, but courage is immortal. Struggle is the forge upon which we are shaped, and only through fire is steel made strong. Will you falter when the storm comes? Will you cower when the enemy howls for your end? Or will you take up your sword, lift high your banner, and charge into the fray with the might of 1,000 suns? Decide now, for your destiny waits upon your answer. We do not fight merely to survive, we fight because it is our nature, our purpose, our calling. To exist is not enough. We must conquer, rise, endure, and inspire. You are more than mere flesh. You are the legacy of all who stood before you. You are the fury of the storm, the fire that never dies, the night that no force can break. Stand with me now and let the world hear our battle cry. For we are the eternal warriors, and our survival is our greatest triumph. The path forward, a Templar's call to strength and faith. Brothers, stand firm, for the trials of the past do not define us. If you focus on what you left behind, you will never be able to see what lies ahead. We are warriors, not of sorrow, but of faith. The burden of the past is heavy, but we were not made to carry it. We were made to march forward with the strong arm of faith, unyielding and steadfast. Do not dwell upon the shadows of what was lost, for they will only blind you to the light that lies ahead. The faith mission calls to us, not to mourn, but to conquer. What knight lingers in the ruins when the stronghold of victory stands before him? Who among us lets his past sins and struggles forge his chains when the Word of Faith Church preaches that all things are made new in the eyes of the Almighty? Step of faith, the path of a warrior. It is not the past that defines a knight. It is his resolve to stand despite the wounds upon his flesh and the weight upon his soul. To be headstrong in battle is to see the victory ahead, not the blood upon the battlefield. To be faith-based in heart is to know that each challenge is but a forge in which our spirit is refined, strengthened, and made pure. The Faith Assembly Church does not call upon men who look backward. It calls upon warriors who press on with fire in their souls. The Faith Assembly of God does not seek those who weep over broken swords, but those who rise and craft new weapons from the steel of their suffering. Every step of faith we take leads us closer to the divine path, to the faith life that is ours if we have the will to grasp it. Faith in action. The Templar's resolve. No battle is won by looking behind. No fortress is built by mourning stones that have crumbled. The enemy does not retreat because of sorrow, but because of faith in action. A heart that fights, a soul that endures, a man who stands unwavering despite the storms of life. We do not need riches, comfort, or ease. We need only the faith center that strengthens our resolve. The Christian religion is not for the weak-hearted, but for those who dare to move forward, despite every hardship and doubt. The faith mission does not belong to those who dwell in fear. It belongs to the stronghold of those who wield faith as a blade, hope as a shield, and courage as their banner. Faith healing is not only for the body but for the soul, for when we leave behind regret, we embrace renewal. We must cast off our doubts and march, for the battlefield ahead is vast, and the glory of victory belongs to those who dare to reach for it. A knight's oath: march forward, never back. By the Word of Faith Church, by the Faith Assembly Church, by the Faith Assembly of God, we are called not to remain bound to the past, but to stride forward with honor, courage, and faith. Let your soul burn with unshakable belief. Let your arms be strong, and let your heart be fearless. This is our charge. This is our destiny. We do not belong to yesterday. We are the warriors of today, forging the triumphs of tomorrow. Onward, brothers, to victory and beyond.
What we do in life echoes in eternity. A call to the warriors of light, brothers and sisters, warriors of the righteous path. Hear my words and take them into your heart as you would take up your sword. For today, we do not speak of mere battles, won or lost, nor do we count the days of our fleeting lives. No, we speak of eternity. We speak of what we leave behind, the legacy we forge, the deeds that will echo through time long after our bones have turned to dust. What we do in life echoes in eternity. These words ring true as the clash of steel upon steel, as the cry of warriors upon the battlefield, as the prayers of the faithful that rise to the heavens. We are but mortal, yet our actions, our choices, our courage, our sacrifice, will live beyond us, carried by the winds of time. So I ask you, noble knights, steadfast warriors, devoted followers of the light, how shall you be remembered? Will the world recall you as one who faltered, who trembled at the sight of darkness, who turned away when duty called? Or will you be named among the great, the fearless, the unwavering souls who stood against the tide and shaped the course of history? A life spent in fear, in hesitation, in comfort without purpose, is a life wasted. For what is the worth of existence, if not to leave a mark that shall endure? What is the worth of breath, if it is not used to speak truth, to cry out in defiance of evil, to sing the song of the righteous and the bold? Every sword raised in justice, every kindness given without expectation, every moment spent in unwavering faith and courage is another stone laid upon the road to immortality. You may die, but your deeds will never perish. You may fall, but your name shall rise. And when future generations look upon the banners of the faithful, when they hear the tales of our order, Will they not whisper your name as one who fought with honor, who lived with purpose, who faced the storm and did not break? Make no mistake, warriors, the enemy is strong. He seeks to silence us, to make us doubt, to tempt us into believing that what we do is for nothing. But we know the truth. We know that every choice matters, every action is weighed, every soul must answer for how they have lived. And so we must choose. We must take up the sword, not only in our hands, but in our hearts, and declare to the heavens and the earth alike, we shall not waver, we shall not be forgotten. For the battle is not just of flesh and steel, but of spirit and will. It is not only against foes of iron and shadow, but against the weakness within ourselves. Every day we rise, we decide anew, to fight, to stand, to believe, to carve our legacy into the walls of eternity. So stand tall, my brothers and sisters. Let your voices be heard, your faith be seen, your strength be known. Let the heavens bear witness that we did not squander our time, that we did not yield to doubt or despair, that we chose the path of honor, of courage, of sacrifice. Let the ages remember that we were here, and that what we did in life shall echo in eternity. Now go forth and make your mark upon this world, for the time is given, the battle is upon us, and eternity awaits. Raise your swords, warriors of faith, and remember, it is not the years we are given, but what we do with them that matters. Let our deeds be sung in the halls of kings and carved into the stones of temples. Let us be the beacon of hope for those who come after us, and the terror of those who seek to bring ruin upon our cause. And when the final horn sounds, when the last battle is fought and our journey ends, may we stand before the Almighty with heads held high, knowing that we gave all, that we lived with honor, that we fought without fear, and that our names, our legacy, will live on in the annals of time.
The mark of a true warrior, brothers, stand strong, for our lives are not measured by the breaths we take, nor by the battles we fight alone, but by the opportunities we grasp with unyielding hands. A man does not rise through fate alone. He rises by the choices he makes, by the courage he shows, and by the faith he holds. Many are given the chance to carve their legacy into the stone of time. Yet too many let those moments slip through their grasp like sand. Our lives are defined by opportunities, even the ones we miss. A warrior who fails to see what lies before him may never taste the glory of victory. A man who fears stepping forward will never know what it means to conquer his destiny. The Lord grants us paths to walk, but it is the will of the warrior that determines whether he will march or falter. Think, O brother, how many times has the Lord placed before you a gate, yet you did not have the strength to step through it? How often have you looked back and lamented, wishing that you had acted sooner, that you had fought harder, that you had been bolder? But no lament shall ever change the past, and no regret shall forge the future. Thus, we must ask ourselves, will we become men of action, or shall we waste the breath in our lungs and the blood in our veins? The moment of decision. There comes a time when all men must decide to remain where they stand or to step into the unknown. The battlefield of life is not won by those who look back with regret, but by those who march forward with resolve. Even the mightiest of knights, even the strongest of kings, have known the bitter taste of failure. But they did not let missed opportunities define them. Instead, they rose again, wiser, stronger, more relentless in their pursuit of greatness. Will you be a man of hesitation, or will you be a man of action? The weak linger in the shadow of uncertainty, but the strong carve their way forward with faith as their compass and courage as their sword. Some will say, but I have failed too many times. Foolish words. The only true failure is the failure to rise once more. Does the blacksmith forge a blade in a single strike? Nay, he hammers it again and again through fire and force until it gleams with the strength of steel. And so too must we forge ourselves in the trials of life, striking against our fears until we become unbreakable. The fire of faith and strength. Faith is the shield that defends us. Strength is the sword that guides us. A Templar does not fear the storm. He walks into it, knowing that through hardship he will be forged into something greater. If the Lord has placed a door before you, do not stand and wonder what lies beyond. Step forth and seize what has been given. The man who fears the unknown is already a prisoner of his own doubt. He who looks back with longing shall never see the horizon before him. There is no glory in lamenting what was lost. The battlefield cares not for the man who weeps for the past. It rewards the one who stands, sword in hand, and takes what is rightfully his. The future belongs to those who seize it. You must see beyond the barriers of hesitation, beyond the fears that whisper in your mind. Every moment is an opportunity to rise, to fight, to carve your place in the world. Your life is a holy quest. Just as the Crusaders rode forth with unwavering faith in the strength of the righteous, so too must you take up the banner of your own journey. Your life is a holy quest, a path chosen not by men, but by God Himself. The trials before you are not obstacles. They are the tests that shape the warrior within. How many men have stood where you stand now, afraid to move forward? How many have turned away from the battle because they feared failure? Yet those who turn back shall never know the taste of triumph. A warrior does not ask if he will win. He fights because it is his duty, because it is his calling, because his heart demands it. Do not mourn the paths not taken, but honor the opportunities that still remain before you. Every day is another chance, another battlefield upon which we may claim our purpose. Do not waste it. Glory awaits those who seize it. Many are called, but few answer. The world is full of men who dream of greatness, but only those who act shall ever taste it. The coward waits for the perfect moment, and in waiting lets his chance slip away. The warrior knows that there is no perfect moment, only the moment he chooses to act. Think not of what could have been, think of what still can be. The past is written, but the future remains unwritten, and it is you who shall carve it into history with the fire of your will. Rise, O warrior, and claim your destiny. Rise now, warrior. The strong do not linger in the past, they forge the future. This is your call to action. This is your moment to rise. The fire of destiny burns before you. Will you step into the light, or will you turn away and fade into the shadows? The Lord watches, the world waits, destiny calls. Answer it. Brothers and sisters, warriors of the righteous path, gather your strength and sharpen your will. For the road before us is not set in stone. The heavens have written no decree that we must obey, no fate that binds our hands or dictates our steps. They say destiny is carved in the stars, unchangeable, immovable, an unyielding river that carries us to an inevitable end. But I tell you now, they are wrong. The future is not set. There is no fate but what we make for ourselves. We are not prisoners of the past. We are not bound by chains of expectation. We are warriors, free to choose our own path. A coward sees his life as a script already written. He blames fate for his weakness, his suffering, his failures. But a warrior knows better. A warrior takes fate in both hands and bends it to his will. So I ask you now, who will you choose to be? Destiny is not given, it is taken. The world is forged in hardship. The strong survive, not because fate favors them, but because they refuse to kneel before it. A sword does not sharpen itself. It must be beaten, folded, and hammered in the fires of struggle. So too must we be forged in the trials of life. The weak accept the fate handed to them. They whisper, I am not meant to be strong. They tell themselves, I cannot rise. They wait for a divine hand to change their fortunes, but the heavens do not move for those who do not fight. A warrior, however, does not ask permission to be strong. A warrior claims strength. A warrior chooses the path of fire and steel. A warrior refuses to be bound by fate. And so, my brothers and sisters, I say to you, cast off the weight of the past. Free yourself from the chains of hesitation. Take up your sword and shape your own destiny. Fear is the first enemy, and we shall conquer it. Doubt will come. It will whisper in your ear. It will coil around your heart like a serpent, telling you that you are not strong enough, not worthy enough, not destined for greatness. But I tell you this, destiny belongs to the bold. When doubt and fear grip your soul, remember this. A warrior is not one who feels no fear. A warrior is one who conquers it. We do not run, we do not yield. We charge forward with our banners high, our hearts unshaken, our hands firm upon the hilts of our swords. For the battle belongs not to those who wait for fate to favor them. It belongs to those who seize it. So tell me, warrior, will you cower before fear, or will you stand and fight? The chains of weakness must be broken. The greatest chains are not those forged of iron, nor those that bind the body. The greatest chains are those that shackle the mind. When you believe you are weak, you become weak. When you believe you are powerless, you become powerless. When you believe you are doomed, you have already lost. But when you believe in your strength, when you believe in your right to rise, when you believe that your path is your own to walk, then no power on this earth or beyond can stand against you. You are not bound by fate. You are not a slave to the past. You are not a prisoner of circumstance. You are a warrior. You are a conqueror. You are the master of your own fate. So rise and claim what is yours. Stand and seize your future. This world will not hand you victory. It will test you. It will break you. It will cast you into the darkness and demand that you surrender. But within you burns a fire that cannot be extinguished, a force that cannot be denied. And that fire, warrior, is your greatest weapon. Let it burn away doubt. Let it consume fear. Let it light the path to the future you will carve for yourself. For those who stand firm, who refuse to yield, who believe in their own strength, there is no limit to what can be achieved. So stand tall, draw your sword, fight for the future you deserve. Who do you choose to be? There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who wait for fate to decide their path, and those who seize their own destiny with both hands. Which one are you? Will you allow the world to choose your fate for you? Or will you forge your own path, carve your own future, and defy the limits placed before you? You hold the sword. You make the choice. You decide what your future will be. And when history looks back, when the world speaks your name, let it be known that you were the one who forged your own fate, that you were the one who refused to bow, that you were the one who proved beyond all doubt that the future belongs to those who dare to take it. Now rise, warrior. Forge your destiny.
Brothers and sisters, warriors of faith, seekers of destiny, hear my words. Across the sands of time, beneath the banners of our sacred cause, through fire and steel, I have learned a truth greater than any treasure, more powerful than any sword. It is not the armor we wear, nor the blade we wield, nor even the battles we fight that determine our fate. No, it is the belief within our own souls that shapes the path before us. You have been gifted with time upon this earth, a fleeting moment in the grand tapestry of eternity. And yet, many falter, not because they lack strength or wisdom, but because they fail to believe in themselves. Doubt's a poison, a creeping darkness that seeps into the mind and shackles the heart. It whispers of failure before the fight has even begun. It chains men and women alike to fear, to hesitation, to the falsehood that they are unworthy. But I stand before you now, not as one who has never known fear, nor as one who has never stumbled, but as one who has conquered these things. And I tell you this, the greatest secret, the only true key to victory in all things, is belief in oneself. The trials of a warrior. A knight may be trained in the art of war, clad in the finest steel, and yet, without belief, he is already defeated before his sword leaves its scabbard. A queen may hold dominion over many, yet without belief, she is but a prisoner of her own doubts. A scholar may study the wisdom of ages, but without belief, his words are dust, carried away upon the wind. I have seen warriors mightier than mountains crumble beneath the weight of their own fears. I have seen kings fall not by the hands of their enemies, but by the weight of self-doubt. But I have also seen the meek rise, the broken mend, and the hopeless reignite their own fires, all because they chose to believe in themselves. Do you not see? The true battle is not against the enemy before you, but against the enemy within you. Rise beyond doubt. If you seek greatness, if you long to carve your name into the annals of history, then know this: it begins with belief. Believe that you are strong, and strength will fill your bones. Believe that you are worthy, and no force in this world will shake you. Believe that you are destined for greatness, and the path shall be revealed before your very feet. To those who stand at the crossroads of doubt and certainty, I say this: choose faith in yourself. It is the foundation of all things, the unbreakable fortress that no enemy can breach. It is the fire that turns iron into steel, the spark that ignites the souls of heroes, the legacy you leave behind. When the sands of time have swallowed our names, when our bones have returned to the earth, what shall remain? Not wealth, not titles, not kingdoms. What remains is legacy, and legacy is not forged through hesitation, nor carved from fear. It is built by those who believe in themselves, who stand against all odds, and declare, "I am worthy." So I ask you now, with all the power in my soul, do you believe? If you falter, if you waver, if even a sliver of doubt remains in your heart, then hear me well. You are not alone. Look to those beside you, to those who fight, who struggle, who rise again and again, despite every wound, every hardship. They are proof that belief can conquer even the darkest nights. Believe in yourself, and you will be unstoppable. For honor, for faith, for the strength within, on fire. Brothers and sisters of the sword and spirit, hear my words. There are those who seek the light, but grow weary when the dawn does not come swiftly. There are those who call for strength, yet falter when it does not rise within them at once. There are those who whisper prayers for miracles, yet despair when their prayers are not answered in an instant. But I tell you this truth: even miracles take a little time. We stand as warriors upon the battlefield of life, where every step is fought for, every victory hard won, and every dream forged in the fires of persistence. If the heavens themselves took time to shape the world, if the mightiest rivers carve the mountains only through patience and force, why should we expect our own miracles to come without trial? You who seek strength, do not waver. You who seek victory, do not doubt. You who seek to change your fate, do not falter. For it is written upon the hearts of the bold that glory is not gifted, but earned. And though your path may be long, though your trials may be many, your miracle is coming. But you must be ready to fight for it. The test of time, the road to triumph is long. And in the darkness of uncertainty, many have turned away. They have cried out, "Why does the Lord not grant my wishes? Why does fate not grant me ease?" But a true warrior does not cry for ease. A warrior sharpens her blade in hardship. A warrior strengthens her shield in the storm. A warrior learns patience, for she knows that what is gained too quickly is also lost too easily. You must learn this truth. Your struggle is not in vain. Every battle you fight, every hardship you endure, every moment you stand firm when others would fall, these are the hands that shape your miracle. A castle is not built in a day. A legend is not written in a single battle. A warrior is not forged in comfort, but in the crucible of time. If you desire victory, you must walk through the fire. If you seek greatness, you must be willing to wait for it. For even miracles take time. Faith and steel, the Templar's way. There will be moments when your spirit wavers, when the enemy seems too strong, when the battle seems never-ending, when doubt whispers in your ear that you will never succeed. But hear me now, this is when you must hold firm. Do not surrender your dreams, because the path is difficult. Do not turn away from the fight, because victory has not yet come. For every battle, every struggle, every moment of perseverance is a seed planted in the soil of time, and in time it will grow. There are no wasted efforts. There are no worthless struggles. There is no challenge that does not serve a purpose. Your strength is being built. Your mind is being honed. Your soul is being tempered. Trust in the process. Trust in the time. Trust in yourself. For the warrior who endures shall be the warrior who rises victorious. Your miracle is coming. Claim it. If you stand on the battlefield of life today, wondering when your miracle will come, stand tall, for it is coming. It may not come today, it may not come tomorrow, but with every effort you make, with every challenge you overcome, it is drawing closer. Your miracle is not a gift, it is a reward for the warrior who does not surrender, a reward for the soul who does not waver, a reward for the heart that beats with unwavering faith. So stand, warrior, hold fast to your sword, raise your shield, and when the world tells you to surrender, whisper back. Even miracles take a little time, for the day will come when you stand atop the mountain, look back upon the path you have walked, and know with certainty, every step was worth it. Now go forth and claim your miracle on fire.
Brothers and sisters of the battlefield, hear my words. To hope is to dream, to believe in the light that beckons us forward. But to plan is to ensure that when the storm comes, we do not fall. The weak pray only for fortune's favor, but the wise sharpen their swords even in times of peace. Hope alone is but an empty wish. Planning alone is but an existence without faith. But together, they forge the unbreakable steel of destiny. So listen, warriors of the cross, knights of the cause, defenders of all that is righteous, this is the law of survival. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. Faith in hope, the light in the darkness. Hope is the fire that keeps a warrior's heart alive in the coldest night. It is the star above the desert that guides us when all else is lost. It is the whisper of the Almighty that tells us, even in the shadow of death, you are not alone. Hope gives strength to the weary. It tells the fallen knight, rise, for the battle is not yet over. Hope is the dawn on the battlefield, golden light piercing through the wreckage of war. Hope is the banner still standing when all else has fallen. But hope alone is not enough. Hope is the dream of victory, but without preparation, that dream will die before it ever sees the light. For what is a sword if it is not sharpened? What is armor if it is not worn? What is faith if it is not tested? We do not wait for miracles to save us. We march forward and forge our own fate. Prepare for the storm, the code of a warrior. A warrior does not march blindly into battle. The foolish rush in, their hearts full of hope, yet their hands empty of preparation. They dream of victory, but hold no strategy. They believe in their strength, but lack the discipline to endure. They expect triumph, but have never tasted hardship. And when the enemy comes, when the swords clash and the arrows darken the sky, these dreamers will be the first to fall. But we are not dreamers, we are warriors. We pray for peace, yet we train for war. We hope for victory, yet we prepare for hardship. We trust in the Lord, yet we wield our swords with unshaken hands. For God helps those who prepare. Do not fear the struggle. Do not flinch at the weight of your burdens. Every hardship you endure, every wound you suffer, every night spent in training, they are the foundation of your triumph. For the strongest shield is forged in the hottest fire. The greatest knight is not the one who has never fallen, but the one who has stood up more times than he has been struck down. Hope for the best, plan for the worst, and you shall never be unprepared. The battle of life. Warriors never yield. Brothers and sisters, life itself is a battlefield. Not all wars are fought with swords. Some wars are waged within the soul. Some battles are fought in silence, against the shadows of doubt and fear. But no matter the enemy, whether steel or sorrow, blade or burden, fear or fate, our strategy does not change. Hope for the best, plan for the worst. For in battle, the one who hopes but does not prepare is a fool. But the one who prepares yet holds no hope is already lost. The true warrior balances both. They pray, but they fight. They trust, but they train. They dream, but they act. And so when the enemy arrives, when the storm breaks, when the world seeks to crush them beneath its weight, they are ready. For their heart is strong, their faith is unshaken, their steel is sharpened, and they stand unbroken. A call to arms, the Templar's oath. Warriors, hear me now. Do not wait for fate to decide your path. Take the reins and forge your own future. Pray for guidance, but do not stand idle. Hope for a brighter dawn, but do not let the night find you unprepared. Believe in the light, but never fear the darkness. For in the end, the Lord walks with those who dare to walk forward. Hope for the best, plan for the worst, and you shall never fall. Now rise, and let the world hear your battle cry. Warriors, knights, crusaders of the past, present, and future, hear my voice. You will not die today. You will not surrender today. You will not let fate decide your path today. Because this is not the end. This is your moment to fight. The weak call it destiny. The cowards call it fate. But we, the warriors, the ones forged in battle, know the truth. Fate is an illusion, and destiny is a lie told to those too afraid to rise. You stand here today, bloodied, bruised, and exhausted, looking at the battlefield ahead, wondering if you have anything left to give. I tell you this now, you do, because your power is not in your body but in your will. Because your strength is not in your past but in your fire to fight. Because your destiny is not written in the stars, it is forged in battle. The warrior's law, or you fall. The universe does not grant mercy. The enemy does not hesitate. The battlefield does not care if you are tired. But hear me now. You are not weak. You are not broken. And you are certainly not done. The only ones who lose are the ones who stop fighting. The only ones who fall are the ones who stay on their knees. The only ones who die before their time are the ones who let fear rule them. But you are not like them. You are more. You are greater. You are a warrior of unshakable will, a force beyond time, a crusader whose spirit burns brighter than the sun itself. When the darkness comes, you become the light. You will face nights darker than the void itself. You will face enemies stronger than any force you have ever known. You will feel pain that makes you question if you can continue. And in that moment, when the world tries to break you, you must remember this. You are the light. You are the fire. You are the storm that no force in this world or the next can extinguish. Do you feel it? That pulse of power deep within your soul? That unstoppable force that refuses to break? That is your will. That is your essence. That is the energy of a true warrior. No chains can hold you. No wall can stop you. No enemy can break you. Unless you allow it. The final stand, it is not over until you win. There will come a moment when you stand on the edge of defeat, when your enemies surround you, when your strength feels like it has abandoned you, when your mind whispers, maybe I should give up. And in that moment, you have a choice: surrender or fight. And if you fight, if you rise, if you dare to challenge fate itself, then you have already won. Because the warrior who refuses to fall is unstoppable. Because the warrior who stands when all others kneel is invincible. because the warrior who fights with everything they have is already victorious. Your time is now. Unleash your power. Today is the day you awaken. Today is the day you reclaim your strength. Today is the day you fight for your life. No more doubts, no more fear, no more waiting. The battle is here. The moment is now. The choice is yours. Fight like the warrior you were born to be. Fight like the legend you are destined to become. Fight because your story is not over yet. A final message to all true warriors. If these words have ignited something in you, then listen carefully. This is just the beginning. Subscribe to this channel and become part of a brotherhood of warriors who refuse to surrender. Activate notifications so you never miss another call to battle. Like this video if you vow to stand and fight. Comment below. What battle are you facing? How will you rise? Share this message with another warrior, because no soldier fights alone. You are not gonna die. You just need to fight.